Hi YouTube, it's the Springer Sisters. We've decided to start our own YouTube channel and provide the services to the world that we provide here locally in Memphis. So we thought we'd start by introducing ourselves, a little bit about our business, how it started and so forth. So I'll let the elder of the two go first.
Well, how kind.
Yes.
How kind. My name is Tanya Springer, and I am the older of the two. And yes, we really are sisters. It's probably the number one question that we get. Holly and I started this business of professional organizing in 2017, and I relocated. We were living in different states. I moved to Tennessee last year. It's right to have our year anniversary of being here together and working on projects together. And it's been an amazing experience. But my background is all hospitality, restaurant, managing groups of people and different personalities and learning how to work with all of those. And Holly kind of brought a different piece to our organization, which is what?
Humor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's quite the
No,
character.
well, I'm Holly Culp. I am the younger of the two sisters by only 2.5 years.
How many times is she gonna
We
say
actually
that?
get asked for twins now, which is really odd because we
It is weird.
don't look anything alike to each other, but I think we're starting to morph into each other the longer we're around each other. But I have a various background, a lot of things, graduated in psychology. It's always been a real big interest of mine. But I've worked in marketing, logistics. I was a teacher for a while. I've done a lot, worked with a lot of different people. I have 3 kids, a husband that travels all the time, so I'm really used to a busy household, busy schedules, and trying to keep a lot of different personalities organized and functioning, which is the main piece of having an organized home is function.
Which is the really cool part because we both have done that in different ways. And so I live in a much smaller footprint and I'm a family of 1 and she's part of a family of 5. And so our experiences, both previous and current, bring a lot of different things to each project and gives us 2 different viewpoints, which I think is something that is a real plus in working with us for sure.
Yeah, we're a lot alike, and we're a lot different. So that's really fun to work with someone who is your best friend, but also is a lot different than you. So we see things differently and we react differently and we give clients really 2 options on a lot of things because we don't always agree on everything, which is fabulous. We started a business. We were laughing the other day. We were talking about our first jobs. I worked at H.G. Hills in Brentwood, Tennessee. Loved it. Probably one of my favorite jobs ever in a grocery store. And she worked at
Bonanza, which if y'all are not familiar, kind of like Western Sizzlin' or whatever of the day, started like the day after I turned 15. My mom drove me up there because it was like the only place hiring 15-year-olds. That's where my love of the restaurant industry was born. So I had her to thank for that, I guess. But we used to both get in trouble at our jobs and we never talked about this until the other day. I was in charge of the salad bar, which was like that whole giant food bar back in the day. And I would like to mound every single bowl like this high over the top and make them all match and be very fluffy and bountiful, AKA wasteful. And Holly used to get in trouble for what?
For fronting the cans at the grocery store. I would spend, if I had any time, extra time, I was usually the cashier, but I would go run the aisles and make sure everything was lined up and looked nice. So it's just funny that it's always been in us to have that organized feel to things. But on the flip side, it's really about the function of things. And that we've learned as well in her restaurant experience with inventories and deliveries and knowing what you have and knowing how to get to it and all that is really important. Same as me, knowing when you're running out the door, where's the soccer ball, you're going to be late to practice. So a lot of those things really ingrained in us. But the real light bulb, a couple for me, were when both my grandparents passed away on my mother's side. I helped clean out the house and went into the attic, and it was just a normal family. I mean, they'd lived there since the early 50s. Yeah,
over 50
a
years.
long time. So just the amount of stuff that was amassed there and the amount of stuff that we had no idea what it was. Really cool stuff, but nobody had told the stories. Nobody knew what anything was, and I just felt really sad because there could have been some really cool stories behind these things.
And there was no plan for any of it.
And yeah. And then the second thing that really pushed me over the edge was my husband's great aunt had the depression mentality, which a lot of people had, and her hoarding, not clinical hoarding, but was canned goods. And her pantry and her freezer, they used to have to keep it closed with a shovel. It was a whole system because she was terrified that she was going to run out of food. But her pantry, things would explode. I'd never realized canned goods could explode. And so when she passed away, I was first in line to clean that up, and I loved it. People were like, "Oh, do you really?" No, let me in. I absolutely love to do it. And we have a heart for it. Like, we actually really enjoy doing that. When people let us into their homes, say, oh, I'm so embarrassed for you to come in here, which, why? Once you meet us, we're the most non-judgmental humans out there. We love to get in there and help people.
Right. And I think that's what really drew me to this was the opportunity to work with people one-on-one and to devise systems that worked for multiple people. With my background, you couldn't always just do what made sense for you. You had to do something that was going to make sense for 22 different people to come in and use and access and be able to function with on a daily basis. And that was always a super fun challenge because it wasn't always about aesthetics. Although we love a beautiful space, it also has to function. And I think that's one of the things that really sets us apart as well, is we like to design things that are going to work for each person in the way in which they function in their home. There's not a one size fits all thing. And that's one of the things that really, I've always nicknamed myself the problem solver in my previous career. And whether it was a schedule or whatever the issue was, product shortage, whatever, we were going to figure it out. And I had the answer. And I love the challenge here because it's a lot more vast things that we come across, but it's been an amazing thing to be a part of for sure.
So that's kind of who we are. Again, Springer Sisters. We're located out of Memphis, Tennessee, and we're just excited to, expand our horizon and meet new people. So leave us a comment, a question anytime, and we will be posting tips and thoughts and all those good things within the organizing world.
Projects, things we encounter, questions that we get most frequently. So our goal here is to help educate and inspire you all along the way. And like Holly said, reach out anytime. We would love to hear your questions and comments and talk on things that are important to you all in your own lives.
And you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff too. So thanks for watching and glad to meet you.